Hi, my name is Tavish Comrie,
And I'm Matt Nunos.
And I'm Dylan Conley.
and we are here to present reasonable changes for a big impact, improving the urban mobility of Banff. With only 9,000 residents and a small area, it is difficult to put new infrastructure. Massive changes are unlikely and probably unfeasible for the town of Banff. Therefore, we've proposed a three-pronged solution which each element addresses a specific need of Banff. These three elements are introducing wildlife fences and vegetative clearing, dynamic traffic measures, and incentivized parking space. With the increase of wildfires in Western Canada and the risk that comes with human-wildlife interactions in the town of Banff, which causes pedestrian and vehicle blockages, this solution aims to combat two birds with one stone. First, according to research, the normalized difference water index and the normalized burn ratio index are the best for finding wildfire risk. Using Landsat 8 images from 2023 summer, we'd separated the images into 4 risk levels, from low risk, medium risk, high risk, and extreme risk. As you can see, both indices show very similar results, with the northeast side being fairly protected with natural elements from wildfire, and the southwestern side a bit more open to the risk of wildfires. We used the idea of buffer zones, which were implemented by FireSmart Canada, which proposed 3 zones dependent on how far away they are from structures that have different levels of vegetative clearing. For instance, the first zone is 10 meters from structures, the second zone is 10 to 30 meters from structures, and the third zone is 30 to 100. These would be from the fence that we would implement to protect from wildlife.
Our first map deliverable covers our proposed fencing and wildfire protection zones in Banff. So in our lower south side and in our north side, we have 2 separate fenced off areas indicated by the black dotted lines. This is to protect the residents and effectively keep separation between the residents and wildfire, or between residents and wildlife. As we're then putting in those wildlife barriers, we'll then expand those areas into these priority protection zones for wildfires. On the north side, due to it being lower risk to minimize environmental impact, we'll only implement the first priority zone, while on the south side, due to it being very high risk and with there only being 1 evacuation route, we want to implement all the priority zones for maximum protection. And then from all this, our proposed solution brings benefits to tourists by protecting them from wildlife, keeping a separation. It creates a better solution for everyone through better wildlife. We have confidence that they're going to be safe from wildlife, so there's better pedestrian mobility is introduced through this separation from wildlife in the town. We have less traffic jams or anything impacting that due to wildlife, creating better mobility. For the community, we bring a lot of benefit by creating a safer community that makes people trusted to actually live and work in Banff. They're willing to fully settle, reside there, and it protects such an important heritage zone for everyone. And sustainability, there's a lot of animal-human interference with each other. So this is really important to the solution to protect the wildlife and maintain Parks Canada's mandate of protecting wildlife and sustainability overall. Coming up next, we have our dynamic traffic measures as our second solution. So Banff is very dynamic. In November, it's dead, but in the peak of the summer, it's ridiculously busy. We can't have one solution that fits every day solution. The needs change. From talking to City Council, one thing that we realized that wasn't always present is prediction for future traffic loads, and understanding the future needs of the community was something that wasn't heavily discussed. So we looked at creating our own solution to anticipate the needs of the community. So what we did was we implemented a machine learning model where we took data such as forecasted high and low temperatures, the different months, weeks, if it was a holiday or not. We can see that there was correlation between a lot of these variables and the total vehicle volume. From there, we then, proving that there is a correlation, we then ran it through a machine learning algorithm. We developed it ourselves, developed an 8% accuracy error on our test results, which was really good. So that means that we can predict the future car load within 8% of how many cars are entering Banff, which is a really important number to have. From there, we then developed a live dashboard to then see how many cars are for the residents of Banff, the town internally and externally to use. You enter in your parameters on a mobile app, and then it estimates how many people will be there. Next slide, please. We then developed also a web-based dashboard that we have a video for.
Oh, it is going to run. Nice.
Well, video is not loading, but what we have.
Oh, it's not showing on there?
It's playing on that screen.
just describe it.
What we have is effectively you go through, you set all your parameters, which includes month, day of the week. If it's a holiday, your like your forecasted high and your forecasted low, and it'll give you your estimation of how many people are coming. So that's how the dashboard works. It's fully HTML embeddable, ready to be thrown onto the town of Banff's website as soon as possible. And there. Awesome. And then once we know that there's lots of people coming, we then can provide disincentives and incentives for those high days, such as raising parking fees for those specific days, offering subsidized transit passes for people to park at intercept lots, and increasing the frequency of shuttles. We then have the advantage of scheduling and knowledge in advance, and positioning staff at bus stops to really help the tourists. A major pain point. I worked as a hotel concierge in Banff. The tourists there don't know how to use the buses, so having staff at the buses to get people going would be very helpful. And we could even look at novel techniques like offering free park passes if you park at Parkway to direct people to other fantastic locations inside the town.
Our final solution is a parking lot with incentives for citizens and tourists to park there instead of going through Banff, which is currently highly congested. One of the main problems right now in Banff is that there isn't enough parking, and this parking lot aims to solve that problem. To find a location, we looked at topographic maps and found areas with less vegetation to reduce the impact on the environment. And one of the places we stumbled upon was within the Lake Minnewanka Loop. There's this large green space that's fairly level, and we believe we could install a parking lot that is twice the size of the current free parking in Banff to allocate some of the parking needs Banff currently has. We recognize that there may be some congestion on this loop road, so we developed a solution where on the ingoing lane to the parking lot, we would allow for personal vehicles to travel that way, and the outbound lane is only for buses. We could incorporate this with the existing roam infrastructure, as there is bus stops along this route. And shown on the right, you can see that the red continues only in that direction. So we plan on allowing only personal vehicles, converting it to a one-way road to ease some of the congestion problems. One of the major incentives we have is we plan on moving the Banff sign to this new location. As you can see, it's very beautiful with Mount Cascade in the background, and currently it is on Mount Norquay, which is very highly congested road. We found through the Banff open data that upon its installation in 2017, traffic increased dramatically along this road. And if we were to move this sign to this new parking lot, not only would we incentivize people to go there and park their vehicles and allow them to take the roam buses back towards the city, we'd also reduce congestion for both tourists within Banff and the citizens of Banff as well.
In conclusion, we propose a three-pronged solution. Our first solution is wildlife fences and vegetative clearing. This would aid in evacuation procedures. It would decrease human-wildlife interaction and would decrease dependence on wildlife to human food. The second solution, dynamic traffic measures, looks at instantiating a machine learning algorithm which would determine how many cars we can expect to come into Banff. With this model, either the public or the city could use it to make staffing decisions, or depending on pay for parking, that could be a dynamic change as well, to decrease congestion for residents. Our third prong incentivizes parking space with a new lot on Lake Minnewanka route. This lot would have incentives such as the Banff sign, as well as free parking and public transportation to decrease the load of parking within the city of Banff. Thank you for listening to our presentation, and please let us know if you have any questions.